All right, we in there. What's up, people?
What's up? What's up?
Lamont, it's Larry. We're going live, and we got two flash subjects we're covering today. Number one, Power Season 6, Episode 11 is entitled Still Dre. So we're going to cover Dre, and if you guys think he can carry a spinoff. The other topic that just hit the presses we got to discover, some of you guys are familiar with IPTV, and one of the biggest players ever in IPTV just had the FBI raid his home. He put up a video about how he felt about the situation. We're going to break that down as well. Yep. Riding with me is my big homie, Larry. Be sure to subscribe to his channel. Tell the people what's up, Larry.
What's going on, you guys? What's going on? You can check me out on Today I Feel Like on YouTube. And yeah, man, I do product reviews and whatnot. Every once in a while, I come through here and tear up Lamont's channel, get him in trouble with his wife, and have some fun at the process.
Hell, sometimes Larry get me in trouble with other YouTubers and shit. I'm running around here having to defend me, defend him. I'm feeling like Kobe Bryant. Get me in trouble with everybody. Let me shout out the people who joined early. I'm boy, I don't want to butcher your name, but I see you, Mr. Universal, Mike Willie, Ron B, Miss Colleen. What's up, my lady?
You know,
and Captain Kurt.
Mark in the house.
Let's jump into it. So they named the first episode after Dre. My prediction is Dre and Tariq are going to ride off in the sunset, and Dre is going to have a spinoff. Do you feel like Dre can effectively carry a spinoff on his own?
I think he can, man. I think he can. I like the fact that Dre is super slippery. I like the fact that dude is a survivor, and people like that have interesting stories. I mean, just the way that he's able to maneuver around all these people. He's been able to maneuver around Tommy. He's been able to maneuver around Ghost. He's been able to maneuver around Tariq, around the feds. I mean, he's gotten out of trouble with Angela Valdez. He's gotten out of trouble with Sachs. He's gotten out of trouble with Blanca. I mean, this dude, every time they think they have him pinned in, he finds a way out. So I think a spinoff with someone like him could be really, really interesting.
I do too. And the fact that he creates such a polarized character on the show, I really think that makes for someone who could be a good person to go on and carry his own show. He's got some of the same appeal that Ghost has. I mean, and that's, you can look at him as a young Ghost coming up right now.
Right.
The way that Ghost and them have done him is similar to the way Ghost did Kanan back in the day.
Yeah.
And just with Dre, you can let him go on with Tariq. They can be the new power team doing different things. And with Dre being so grimy, so slippery, but now he's starting to be a little smart. You might could have a good spinoff with Dre because people are going to love him. They're going to hate him.
Yeah. You know, I think with Dre, I think you can end up having the same sort of dynamic that you have with Ghost and Tommy, where Ghost wants to be out of the game. He wants to be legit and be a straight up businessman. And Tommy just wants to be a gangster. And that's the same thing that's happening in a lot of ways with Tariq and with Dre. Dre wants to be a legit dude. He wants to run that club, and he wants to be a legit dude and just make money and support his daughter. And Tariq has all of that, but he just wants to be a gangster. He wants to sell drugs and be a little gangster. So you could have a good spinoff with the two of those guys working together and have sort of that same dynamic between Ghost and Tommy. But you have it with Tariq and Dre.
Let me tell you what the people are saying. Our homegirl Shrinking Sharon is in the building. Hey, Shrinking Sharon. Larry, you know Shrinking Sharon.
Shrinking Sharon is in the house. What's up?
Yep. Miss Colleen is dropping us lines. Jeremiah is in the building. Justin is in the building. And I think that when they go back and each one of these episodes coming is going to kind of probably weave together the missing parts until they get to the very last one. And I guess Dre's first perspective is going to be what he did throughout that day and exactly what lined him up to the point where we've seen him driving that car.
Right. Well, I'm not sure exactly where they're going to go with it, but I feel like, on some levels they keep Dre around because they love Dre. I think the writers love Dre. I think they love his character. Even though they want to hate his character on some level, I think they love his character. Everybody loves an underdog. Everybody does. Even when if you watch a football game, even if they're playing your team, you're like, I don't want my team to lose, but I gotta love the fact that these scrappy underdogs are just hanging in there with them. You know?
Man, hell on that. If it's the New England Patriots or the Dallas Cowboys, I don't care how much of an underdog they can be under the bus. I'm not rooting for their asses. You can hold on that one. I'm rooting for them. I don't care how much of an underdog they is. My man Kirk said, "Let me find out Lamont shot ghost." Hey man, look, for the right amount of money on the show, I could have been the trigger puller. You damn, they ain't got to pay me a whole lot to be a dummy on that for real. Just to give me money to hold that gun. I'll take $30,000. That's all I know. No silencer, no nothing. His ass is gonna die. Quick.
I don't even need $30,000. Just go ahead and put my YouTube tag underneath it, so I can go ahead and get them subscribers. I'll make $30,000 off of YouTube.
Now y'all know Larry lying, because all it would take for Larry to shoot those is to be able to hug Ramona big head ass, and Ramona as hell, y'all. Y'all know that thing look like Saturn revolving around the sun. Her shit is huge.
Yeah, man. But
on her,
yeah, I'll be the new I'll be the new version of Ghost / Tate.
Captain Kirk said Larry was driving the getaway car. Hey, boy, y'all ain't right today. What's up, John? What's up, Mike? Willie? Going on?
Man, I'm just waiting for Tasha to finish. I'm waiting for Tasha and Ghost and Folk go ahead and sign those divorce papers.
Oh, I can hear Usher music right now signing them papers. You ready to sign them papers? Right.
Sign them papers, and then I'm gonna get on. Then I'm gonna go on. And I'm gonna get on Instagram and Twitter and start lighting up. 50. When you start talking about my girl's hairline, I'm gonna start talking about his girl's scale.
Yeah, man.
Trying to holler at Lizzo.
What was up with 50 talking about Tasha hairline? What was up with that?
Oh man, you know he's petty. Dude is just straight petty.
But
he's funny petty. He is funny petty. He's not just he is petty, and he could be mean petty too. But he's just straight funny petty, where he just says stuff where you're like, why would you even do that? And he just does shit, I think, just because. Right.
For those that didn't know, last week or sometime, Little Kim came back out. She was never happy that Notori Naughton played her in the Biggie Smalls movie. This chick, this chick wanted Christina Milian to play her role. I'm like, huh?
Really?
Christina Milian?
Why?
I was thinking to myself, N-word. Christina Milian, because back then that was when Little Kim was my complexion. Now she's Sosa complexion. So I guess during that time it was already showing that she kind of maybe has a complex around her skin tone.
Right.
And I was thrilled that our girl Tasha got the role, because I seen the movie, she knocked that shit out the park.
Yeah.
She encompassed the essence of what I remember Little Kim being in the 90s.
Yeah.
And she said she reached out to Little Kim and the crew. They didn't want to have nothing to do with her, and it came back up last week. Then you see that meme of 50 Cent when Tasha had a hairline that was balder than Kai Green. Her shit was like back here. I was like, that's got to be Photoshop.
I hope so. But you have these girls that wear these weaves and stuff for so many years, and it messes their hairlines up. So they end up with like permanent baldness. And it's like, if you're not careful with that stuff, at some point you need to let all that stuff go and just let your hair grow back naturally. Get some Ropecia or what's that other stuff, that Rogaine, and and just let your hair come back and let it get healthy. But some people, and I get it, if your job is to look a certain way on TV, you're gonna look a certain way on TV. So
yeah, but
did you hear this though? Did you hear that when the person who wrote the script for Harriet, when they originally took it to the studios, they said they loved it. They wanted to make the movie. It was a fantastic script. And they said, let's get Julia Roberts to play her.
Man, Can
you believe that ish?
When I saw that, when I saw that, I was, what was they gonna do? Put blackface on Julia Roberts?
You know, and when the person told the executive said no, she is a Black American hero. The person said, "Oh, it was so long ago. Who's gonna know?" Come on, man.
Man, they in there killing Tasha. Mike Willie said, "True." Just ask Stephen A. Smith, because you know Stephen A. Smith is behind, his hairline is behind his butt crack too.
Man, somebody said Tasha has LeBron's hairline.
Hey, hold up now. LeBron got his hairline fixed.
What did LeBron get tattooed?
He got that good beignet. He put that good coloring in his hair.
LeBron got that 3D tattoo thing going.
Man, oh my God.
You know, when you have that much money, just cut your hair off. Just go bald. You know.
Right. My man Nick Jones said, I don't know why they bothering Notori. She did nothing wrong. I have to agree. And to be honest with you, the chick has a lot of talent.
Yeah.
She's very talented.
Yeah.
I don't know why they done it either, man. But
you know, they're always gonna go hard on a chick that has a big old forehead. I mean, Tyra Banks for a long time was one of the most beautiful women on the planet, and they used to go hard on her hairline. You know,
man. Tyra Banks did have a big forehead, bro.
She did. People used to say she had an 8 head instead of a 4 head. You know, because
back when I was during that age, I would have kissed all 8 of them foreheads back before I became a married man.
You know,
I became a married man. You know, people know that back in those days. So, oh my God!
DVD King in the house.
DVD King is one of the few people that no matter when I get up here, that man leaves me $1 or something. I guess it's meant to say, you know, y'all can tip me and Larry when we get up here and we go live. Be sure to go subscribe to Larry's channel.
Yeah.
DVD King, we appreciate you, bro. And go and join his page on Facebook. It's called Money and Violence. And
what is it called? Money and Power?
Money and Violence.
Money and Violence. All right, I'm gonna have to go check that out. You guys, I want to tell you guys, I'm loving the support that you guys are showing. I've seen a number of you guys come across from Lamont's channel over to mine and say what's up and watch some of my videos and hop in the comments. And my goal is to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I'm getting closer and closer. I was at like 7,000, I think, or something like that not long ago, and now I'm at 8,500. And it's about, you know, it's about the 3rd week of November. So I have about 1,500 more to go before the end of the year. I think I can do it. But you guys have been showing a lot of support, so I want to say thank you and keep showing the support, because I'm going hard. I've been doing 2-a-days every day, pretty much, trying to get there. So, you know, I told myself I was going to do 2-a-days until I get to 10,000 or the end of the year, whichever comes first. So, you know, I might be a little ragged. I need my wine to keep me going.
And y'all, we are going to try to do more live streams in between Larry's videos, where we're not just going to do power, because you guys have such a voice. I know Miss Colleen had a hot take this week about what happened with Mason Rudolph and Myles Garrett, and I really appreciated her comments. So we're going to do a little bit more of that as we can fit it into our schedules.
Yeah.
And having said that, we're getting ready to change gears and talk a little bit about, see that pun, Larry? I said change gears to talk about.
I see. I see. I like that. Woo.
Yeah, man.
So, you know what that is what you call a segue master right there.
That's right. I ain't just a master in other places. I be holding it down up here too. So a lot of y'all might not know what's happened in the last about, I'm gonna say 52 hours. So if you're familiar with IPTV, which a lot of you are, the biggest cat in that game was a gentleman named Omar. He was the guy with Gears TV. He was the guy with Gears Reloaded.
Yeah.
He just had a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where the FBI came and seized everything from him. All his cars, all his TVs, all his drones. They took everything but his damn underwear and children. And he got on last night to do a live.
He didn't see his drawers or his children. They might have taken them too.
No, they didn't take them. His YouTube channel is Omi in a Hellcat. Go check my man out so you can see his story. He explained it. But he's saying that the feds came after him for tax evasion, money laundering, and the IPTV service that he was associated with, which was Gears. Having said all those things, in his defense, as he said, they couldn't get him really on the IPTV because he was smart enough to find a loophole that allowed him to restream what it was doing as long as he didn't restream it in the exact real time.
Right.
And I was telling Larry, when people find these loopholes like that and the government sees that you're doing this and they want to get your ass, they usually never get you for that wrongdoing, quote unquote. They are able to get your ass on either money laundering or tax evasion, because whatever dollar amount you do show to the government, which he did, pay some taxes.
Right.
They always can superinflate it to what they think you made and what they think you have and what they deem is a value of whatever said services you are doing. And he also mentioned that he had a CPA he got rid of, had to get a new one that put him behind on taxes. Larry, give me your estimation of this situation. One thing he also said, he said he's not going to tell on his people. He's not telling.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. If you're doing some stuff that you think might be criminal, and if you or sketchy or gray area-ish,
right,
the one thing that you have to do is pay all of your taxes in its entirety. You have to overpay your taxes. You do not want the federal government looking into your stuff. I mean, there's a couple of things. I'll tell you, I've never been the biggest fan of Omar and his stuff because he's always come off and rubbed me the wrong way. So I've never been the biggest fan. I don't wish any ill will on dude. I'm just not the biggest fan. But
so let me say this to you. I've had an opportunity to communicate with him via the comment section on videos, and I've seen times where he didn't reply to people, but he would reply to me, and he was always very nice. You know, he seemed nice in those comments. So I just want to preface what you were saying by saying that.
Right. Okay. I mean, the dude may be nice. Every time that I would watch his videos about stuff, and I would see where people would comment to him, or they were on the live stream and they would leave comments, ask questions. He always came off as a bit arrogant, sort of a dick. I don't like that. I mean, I think that when you have anything, if you're a YouTuber, if you're an Instagrammer, if you're a TikTok person, if you're a celebrity on TV or in the movies, anytime you have people that are taking the time out of their day to watch your content, to support your art or your cause or whatever it is you're doing, you have a responsibility to be kind to them, to be nice to them, to be responsive to them if you can. And he was always, I think he was always sort of arrogant. And I mean, even watching that video, he starts off by saying, oh, you know, the first thing he says is he gets on there and says, yeah, what I need you guys to do for me is go buy my merch. And then he goes and starts talking about how they seized multiple houses and multiple cars. And then he goes and says, oh, I'm never going to talk about how much money I make. And then he goes and turns a couple breaths later, talks about how he's made millions and he'll make millions more. Well, you have people up here that are buying IPTV service because they don't have $200 a month or $300 a month to spend on a cable package. So they're looking for alternatives that are cheaper. And so these people who don't have the money to buy expensive cable packages, you're telling them to buy your merch when you have, from what you just said, you've made millions of dollars. I mean, these are people that are paying their taxes and you didn't pay yours. I mean, come on, bro. I mean, let's just be real. if you pay your taxes and let's say you owe $300,000 in taxes, pay $350, the government will not look into you really. They will leave you alone. If you're overpaying, they will leave you alone. They just want their money.
Well, I'm not saying that I've done criminal acts, but I've been around people who have done what you said, and the government still came after them because they wanted to get them for what the act they was doing that was in the gray area.
Well, then here's the thing. Then you need to be smarter than that. And one of the things about being smarter is you need to protect yourself and your family. When you have kids, it's one thing if you're single. You're out there running around buying your houses and your cars, and you're single, you get locked up, it's just you. But when you have kids and you have a family and you know that that people are going to suffer if you go down, protect them, protect yourself. Hire 2 and 3 accountants. Yeah, it may suck if you have to spend, $50,000 for an accountant, and then you have to spend another $30,000 or $40,000 on 2 other accountants to go and audit your first accountant. But those other accountants auditing your first accountant will keep you out of jail.
Right.
Do that. Hire an attorney so that when you have the FBI in your house taking all your stuff, that you don't find yourself on YouTube doing a 30-something minute live stream where you basically incriminate yourself and give the prosecution everything that they need to lock you up.
Well, hold on now. Hold on that one. Omar's not done. I don't think he would have done that live stream unless it's to be to his advantage. Maybe he's getting on record the things that he feels is going to help him if this thing goes to court. Because in his estimation, he pretty much feels like he's going to do some time. To the point where he even said he felt like doing a live stream and committing suicide on live stream. Thankfully, he did not do that because he still got kids.
I don't buy it.
You don't buy that.
I don't buy it.
You calling him a bluff on that one?
I'm calling his bluff on that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think anytime someone's threatening to commit suicide, that maybe someone should go find out where he is and 5150 his ass.
Well, at this point, people know why he's threatening to commit suicide. You know what I'm saying?
So, I mean, if he's threatening, then maybe they should 5150 him and lock him up to make sure he's safe from himself. But I guess the reason why I'm calling sort of BS on that, it just seems like he's trying to generate some sympathy for himself. And the reality of it is like, how much sympathy should you have for someone who's up there saying they're making millions of dollars and this and that, and you're not paying your taxes? If you're not paying your taxes and you're making millions of dollars and you end up going to jail over tax evasion, then I mean, that's just dumb. I mean, this is the thing. Our system is designed to help people who make lots and lots of money not pay taxes. Forget tax evasion. Let's say you make $10 million a year and you would owe the government, let's say $2 million in taxes, right? You can spend $500,000 for an attorney and an accountant that will do everything that needs to be done so you can have tax avoidance. You don't need tax evasion when you have legalized tax avoidance. There's no excuse for it. None.
That was one thing he was saying in his video. And if you recall, and maybe some of you guys might know this too, every person who was doing things that either was in the gray or illegal have been busted by the feds via something dealing with taxes or money laundering. From John Gotti to old boy in Chicago. Hell, they got Money Mayweather for taxes. They got Wesley Snipes for taxes, and his ass can barely get back in good graces in Hollywood right now.
That's because they're stupid. They're stupid. I mean, Wesley Snipes thing was different because he knew he owed that money, but he felt like he shouldn't have to. He was on that whole kick of I shouldn't have to pay income tax because it's never been passed and all that other crap that the far right people talk about as far as the whole income tax, act was never fully ratified and all that. He was on that kick, and they were like, yeah, okay, run your ass over to Africa, Negro, and we'll still come get you when you come back.
That was the same thing Red Fox was saying back in the day. the comedian Red Fox. He didn't pay his basically saying the same thing.
Yeah, and you could say all that you want, but I mean, and I get it when you're rich. When you are rich, your largest single expenditure is taxes. When you have millions of dollars and you're buying a house and your house payment is $12,000 a month, you know, and your car payment's $4,000 a month, and your health insurance is $800 a month, and your tax payment is, you know, $40,000 or $300,000 a year or whatever, your tax payment is your single largest expenditure. I get it. You don't want to pay it. But guess what? You're an American citizen. You're going to pay that shit. That's just what it is. We all pay it. I don't even make a ton of money. I pay like freaking my income tax rate's like 30-something% because I work for myself. You know? I mean, I pay a crap ton of taxes, and it hurts every time I have to write that check. I do taxes. I don't do them quarterly. I'm supposed to. I usually end up doing them like every, you know, basically like every 6 months. But, you know, I pay my taxes, and other people should pay them too. And when you don't, and then, I mean, let's be real. The dude said in there that he hadn't paid his taxes since 2016. I mean, come on, man.
Look, man.
Let's be real. Could you imagine if you hadn't paid your taxes? Let's just assume that for all the men and women out there who have child support payments, let's just assume that you hadn't paid your child support in 3 years. That's your tax. Let's just say, you think the police are not going to come knock at your door talking about where's that damn money at? In fact, we'll just lock you up, and then you can tell us while you're in jail.
Mm-hmm.
And then take all of your shit and sell it and pay and use that to pay for your taxes. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't wish any ill will on the dude, but let's just be smart. When you make a lot of money, you have a certain responsibility to not be dumb. And the dude was being dumb.
Larry, I'm going to disagree with you on this one. Maybe he was being dumb, but because of everybody that wants IPTV to be shut down and they couldn't find a legit way to do it, I just think that I'm not going to say unfairly targeted him, but they targeted him, and they was going to get him one way or the other one. They could have, if one of his cars would have had a missing tail light, and that led a door to opening up something so that they can take him down because of the IPTV. I just felt like they had a radar on his back. He's been investigated for 2 years. They even had a CI on this dude.
Right.
2 years. And I felt like they just wanted to get him. Somebody in that Hollywood MPAA thing, he wanted him to go down, and they just pulled strings to get him.
All right. So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If you know that people are coming for you.
True.
Because dude talked about it. He said he knew they were coming.
Right.
He said he knew that they were looking into him for a long time. He said that he knew that they have been investigating. So when you know this is happening, do you continue on doing what you're doing, or do you fly as narrow and as straight as you possibly can so that you give them nothing?
That's a good point. Another way that a lot of dudes get caught is they start flossing. So if I had to critique him, I would have said, don't buy up all that shit, is what I would have said. I would have said, take that money, put it in some kind of account offshore, maybe get you one car, a decent sized house, and definitely don't show the shit on YouTube. Definitely don't do that.
No, and why didn't you take that? Why didn't you take that money? If you had millions of dollars, why is that millions of dollars sitting in any account that the FBI could seize it? Why is your account not in the Cayman somewhere? Why do you not have a shell company somewhere that you can use, that if you want to go buy a house, that house should never be in your name, that they can be seized? Why is that house not in the name of some shell company that's based out of the Seychelles or the Caymans or somewhere else where it can't be touched?
So he said that they're getting a family member because when his credit was bad, a family member did sign some things in his name. So they're going after that person too. And that's probably how they're doing this. That's probably how they're taking their laundering angle, by saying he was laundering things with this family member. Because I've seen this happen.
No, man. When you make a lot of money, you don't need family members to sign your shit. When you have a lot of money, if my credit score was a 435, and I don't even know if it can go that low, But let's just say you had a ridiculous, let's just say you had a 500 credit score and you wanted to buy $1 million house. If you walk into a bank with $500,000 and say, I want to buy this house, here's half down, they will give you a mortgage. When you make a ton of money, you don't need other people to sign off on your crap.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if you go and start a shell company somewhere, and within that shell company, you have shares that show this company is worth, $2, $3, $10, $5 million, you can put those up as collateral for anything that you want, even if your credit is blown out.
To some degree, you can't go buy something over $10,000 without them sending it to the FBI because of what happened at 9/11. So if he wanted to make a big purchase, he couldn't just walk in there with cash that cost over $10,000 because then you flag the FBI.
Right, but see, that's the thing. You don't need to walk in there with cash. If you start a shell company somewhere and you have the shares that say this company is worth this amount of money, you can put those shares up as collateral or portions of those shares up for collateral so that you can say, look, I want to buy this new Hellcat car, which apparently he had, and you'll say it costs 70 grand. You can put up those shares as collateral and say, here we go. I want to finance this car. Here's the shares to hold as collateral. And then you don't have to worry about the FBI because you're not paying more than $10,000 in cash. You're actually financing a car. You're just doing it with private collateral.
So here's where I have to challenge you on that one. And again, y'all, I don't know nothing about illegal businesses. I don't. So when you do have a company and you have shares, or you have an LLC that's an independent LLC, and you're using that for collateral, as Larry is saying you should do. Okay, Larry, I want to use my company as my collateral to get a house, a car, whatever. Okay, so I go to whoever entity to buy these items, right? And I show them my shell company. Okay, they're still going to want to know, okay, what is in that shell company that is either bringing in revenue for, or what assets do you have that equal what we're about to loan you or give you? And there's
as long as they know that the company is worth a certain amount and they're able to actually hold on to those shares, they don't need to know what the company does, as long as they know that the company is valued at a certain amount and they actually have the asset in hand, the actual physical shares in hand, so they can say, okay, this company's worth $12 million, and you have given us the equivalent of $80,000 in shares that we're going to hold on to as collateral, and you want to buy a $70,000 car. Well, that's fine. They don't need to know what that business does.
You skated over my point. How did the company get to be worth $12 million?
They don't need to know that. Banks don't care.
Yes, they do.
Just want the money.
No, if you're going to try to asset your company, banks want to know where's the revenue coming. How is the company being evaluated to be worth $12 million so that they're not guilty of fraud?
And here's the other thing. You don't have to use U.S. banks to finance your stuff. You can use other banks.
Now you're getting Donald Trump on me. Because everything you just said is what our current president did here, which is why they scrutinize you when you want to go get a loan under an LLC. I know I've ran a few businesses and still have some.
Right. But
you can go cross seas to Switzerland and show fake accounts and get something that you want. But you know what? This is what I hope happens from this whole thing. If he was really serious about killing himself, I'm gonna say, brother, go get some help. You know,
please do. Don't do that. Don't hurt yourself. Go get some help.
Go get some help. You've got kids. I hate that they've got to see this whole thing going on, but if you wind up having to serve time, you can definitely make a comeback.
Right.
Is what I would have to say. You can definitely make. The last point I'm going to make is he also said that people have watched this story and there are people in Hollywood that actually are entertaining doing some kind of a story or a movie or a book or something about his life. Would you watch it, Larry?
I mean, I don't know. I watch a lot of stuff, so I'm not sure I'm going to the theaters to go see it, but I might watch it on Netflix or something.
Okay.
You know? But I mean, would Hollywood make a story about someone pirating content, Hollywood content? Maybe, because it's Hollywood. They'll make a story about anything if it makes them money.
You know what the bottom line to it would be exactly how much money did he make? And everybody loves to pick on a criminal by showing all these exotic cars, all their big homes, everything they've done with quote unquote ill-gotten gains to dramatize their story. I seen something called The Wolf of Wall Street.
Right.
Where he had this, I forgot what his descent was, but I mean, basically he could blend in with Anglo-Saxons if he had to.
Right.
He was manipulating all these people out of millions of dollars on Wall Street. And they finally eventually caught him. But before he got to that point, this dude was taking wild trips to the Cayman Islands, screwing bitches left and right. And I mean, when I say left and right, he was screwing black, white, whatever, snorting cocaine up their head. He was just pulling his penis in one, popping in the other one.
He was wild.
Yeah. And what makes you frustrated, what makes me frustrated about our legal system is when white collar crime happens to the millions of dollars that it does happen in this country. Those guys never go and stay in jail long. They go for maybe 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Then they get out. And if you're smart, you put money away in an offshore island, you get your money, you come back.
Right.
The guy Wolf of Wall Street done something similar, but then he comes out of jail. They give him a movie, give him a book, and now he's running around like he's a new saint, telling people how not to do wrong. And we're supposed to revere this bitch as a great savior because now he's doing right. But in the beginning, you ruined millions of families' lives.
Right.
And I feel like every dollar you make should go back to all those families whose life you ruined, because now you're making money trying to speak the gospels of Jesus and how to avoid scams. But what do you think these people are going through that lost all their money?
I'll tell you this. On one level, I agree with you that they should be able to recoup some of those losses from him. But on the other end, that's what jail is for. You go in, they try you, they convict you, they punish you by sending you to jail. Once you're done, you're punished. You're done. You are punished. You should not be culpable for any more punishment from those actions. That's why we have double jeopardy, as part of our Constitution. You're done. They can't punish you anymore for that. And so I respect that, but that's one of the reasons why people have to wait until they get out of jail now before they can actually make these movies and these book deals, because there was a time where you had criminals doing these crimes and then people want to go make deals with them while they're in jail, and they would. And people were upset, saying these criminals are basically, brokering book deals from their prison cell and getting rich in jail, getting rich off their crime.
If there's anyone who believes in a second chance, I'm fine with the second chance. Perfect. I mean, we all need that. There's people in jail right now for selling a Dimebag for 15 years that shouldn't even be in jail at all. If this man can go and rape people he got away with almost like $50 million and only spent, it was like 32 months in jail. Now he's out. It don't sit well with me that people are still sitting in jail, mostly minorities, because of a Dimebag.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, the whole Dimebag thing is unfortunate and messed up, and a consequence of a really racially biased judicial system with our drug laws. But if you're going to be a criminal, whether it's if you are white or black, Hispanic, Asian, whatever, be in a sense too big to fail, too big for them to go after. You want to be a criminal that is so influential, that is so profitable. For them to actually convict you may hurt them as well. So when if you're making millions of dollars and you're doing IPTV stuff or whatever, you're making millions of dollars a year. I don't know where the dude lives, where he's from. I don't know if he's American or Dominican or whatever else, but this dude should have been donating to his politicians. He should have been giving money to his local politicians. He should have been donating to the races for sheriff. He should have been donating to his Congress people, his senators, in such a way. And I'm not talking about $100 here. He should have been maxing out his donations. He should have been bundling money. He should have been, if you know you're doing dirt, you need to make sure that you insulate yourself so that when it comes time for people to investigate, if they say, oh, wait a minute, maybe we shouldn't arrest this dude. Or if you look at getting arrested, maybe your congressperson is like, their staffer starts making phone calls to the FBI saying, we need you to stop looking at this guy. Why?
Right.
Because if you go arrest this dude and the press picks up on the fact that this dude has been a bundler for congressman or senator so-and-so, that's a problem for them. You want to be able to insulate yourself by making sure that other people have a vested interest in your security. Mm-hmm. And that, and when people just want to make a ton of money and they don't want to pay their taxes and they want to run around flossing with Hellcats and houses and no one has a vested interest in keeping you safe. You need to make sure other people have a vested interest in keeping you safe. And when you have millions of dollars, you can afford to do that. And he just didn't. And now he's going to jail.
Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, he speaks a lot of truth. When you have a lot of money and power, other people want it. And in order for you to keep it, you've got to make some strange bedfellows, as we have seen with power. And with that, Larry, we're going to end because I got to go work on my cuts for the Who.
Oh, I can't say it, man. Now you're trying to get me in trouble. I'm married too.
No, you were supposed to say my cuts for my wife.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Or you can go work on the guts.
Oh my God. So we want to thank you all for coming and checking us out. Be sure to subscribe to Larry's channel.
Yeah.
We also I'm going to be watching the movie with Chadwick Boseman, 21 Bridges. And I'm going to check back with Larry to see when we can do a live stream next week. Until that next Sexy as Hell video.
Wait. Hold on before you go.
Uh-oh.
We're going to talk about two movies. We said we were going to do one in the theater and one that's like a digital release.
Yeah. So what's a good digital release you can think of?
Right. So I don't want to tell you guys how to get your digital releases. So if you guys want to watch like a bootleg of Joker, or if you want to watch like a regular release of like a Netflix release of like Dolomite, something like that, we can do that.
Okay.
We can do that. So either one.
Either one. We'll come back next week and we'll hit y'all with that.
Yeah.
For that next Sex is Hell video, y'all, we'll see you.
All right, you guys. Love, peace, and hair grease. Peace.
Peace.